Hello, happy Sunday. I cut my bangs. I did this to myself Friday. Skylar went to Palm Springs to hang out with his best man who was in town from Colorado, and I've been watching New Girl, and every time I watch New Girl it makes me want to cut my bangs, and I've had them several times before, so it's not like a mistake or anything. But I did definitely get my period Saturday, so that was fun. I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm debating going out to go read. It's super nice outside. And I didn't go reading at Starbucks this morning like I usually do before I go to the grocery store. So I'm thinking about going now. It's almost 4 o'clock, but I did want to update you that I finished Blackout. I ended up finishing it this morning. Yesterday we were at Skylar's parents' house. His grandma was in town from Tennessee, so we were there until about 8 o'clock, and I was just feeling so awful. I had the worst cramps, and on our way home we stopped at In-N-Out, and by the time we got home it was like almost 9, and I ate and I was just falling asleep on the couch, so I ended up going to bed and didn't do any reading. But I finished Blackout this morning. It is either 5 or 6 different stories. It's about a bunch of different teens who live in New York, from like Brooklyn and the Bronx and stuff like that, cities like that, and they're spread out, and it's 5 different stories, their perspectives of a blackout. So we have 2 characters who are showing up for an internship. Turns out only one of them was supposed to have gotten accepted. The blackout hits and they're like, we'll call you in a couple days, just go ahead and go home. There are 2 guys stuck on the subway, a group of teens on like a tour bus. They're visiting from Mississippi, and 2 girls at a nursing home. A couple, they end up being a couple who are at the library, and then a girl in an Uber. So it's a bunch of different people, and we figure out that they are all heading to the same place. There's like a mutual friend of theirs who is having this huge block party to celebrate like the beginning of summer. That's where they're all trying to get to, and it's all of their different perspectives and these little stories that are going on. I thought it was really cute. I gave it a 3 stars. I always feel like I have to defend myself when I give something 3 stars. That does not mean that it was bad. 3 stars to me is a good, solid book. It is just really short. They were all like individual short stories almost. And like I said, I thought it was cute, but nothing really more than that. There's a second novel called Whiteout, and I'm wondering if that's like more of their stories, and I definitely want to read it. It was only about 250 pages. It was cute. I thought it was good. I'm going to start Elantris next, and again it's 4 o'clock, and I'm just trying to decide if I want to go like sit outside and read for a couple hours before coming back home and making dinner. I don't think I'm gonna go to the gym today. I'm just not feeling it. But I also like don't really feel like leaving the house, but it's so nice out. I'm not sure. I will update you probably tomorrow, let you know how restarting Elantris has gone and if I've read anything. By the way, finishing Blackout is my next like set of 5 books, so I could go to Barnes & Noble and purchase a book. I just really don't know what I want to get next. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo comes out on the 9th, so I could wait until then to purchase something. But I also like, I want to read Dark's Dawn, which is the next book in, or is it God's Grave? I'm like, there are series that I also want to finish, so I might do that. I don't know. I have no idea what to purchase next, but I do get to treat myself to another book, so I will update you in a day or 2. Good morning. Happy Friday. it's been almost a week since I last updated you, and I'm only like 100 pages more into Elantris than I was when I talked to you. I just have not been in a reading mood. I got my period like a whole week early this month and have just been so exhausted and not wanting to read. And then Thursday, Skylar stayed home instead of going to his band practice. He's going tonight. So we were hanging out, and then I didn't go to bed until about 10, so I read for an hour. I read like 57 pages, but I'm only on page 157, so I'm not even caught up to where I had left off the first time that I read. I'm considering tonight, he's going to practice, like maybe going to Chipotle or Baba Grill somewhere, getting food, sitting outside and reading. I really want like a drink. So I'm thinking about doing that tonight, hopefully getting some reading done. We don't have plans for this weekend, so hopefully I can catch up, but I don't even know when I'm supposed to be finished with this, but I'm just behind and I'm not feeling like reading recently. But I also can't crochet. I don't know what's going on, but my pinky hurts so bad. Not like my finger, but like down here. It's just bothering me so much. It started really hurting Wednesday, and then it was really bothering me yesterday. I took an ibuprofen. I've been putting Aspirin cream on it. It let up, but it's bothering me again today. And so I'm not having the best week, but hopefully I can catch up today. I'm really enjoying Elantris. I think it's really interesting. Our main character, Raiden, is the crown prince of Erelon? Hold on. Erelon. I had to go grab the book. I've done a lot of tabbing already, and a lot of the tabs were already there from the first time that I read it, that I started trying to read it. And I've added a couple more, some characters that I didn't mark down and just some things that I kind of didn't notice before maybe. Now that I'm tabbing more, I feel like I'm noticing more when I'm reading books, so I marked those. He is the crown prince of Erelon, but he is infected. 10 years prior to this, they were like ruled by these people called the Elantrians, who I always picture as like alien beings for some reason. But who had magic abilities and lived in this like amazing city where everything was controlled by the like magic that they use. And the magic is controlled by like symbols that they draw in the air. And then this like plague came over them. They developed all of these splotches and their like empire fell. And that's called the Rayode. And people still get afflicted with this disease, and if that happens, you get put into Elantris. So Erelon is on the outside of Elantris. They've built their city outside of its walls. If you get affected with the Shayode, the Rayode was when like Elantris fell. Shayode is what they call the disease. If you get infected with that, they put you in Elantris, they close the walls, they give you like a basket, and you stay in there for the rest of your days. But the way that this disease affects people is that you're dead but still living. So it's like a zombie disease, and anytime you hurt yourself, so our main character, Raiden, he's walking and he stubs his toe and you feel that pain forever. If you scratch up your hands, if you hurt your knee, you break a bone, you feel that pain forever. And there's a belief that even if you like try to cut off a person's head, they no longer have a soul, so they can no longer pass out or pass on, so they will still feel that pain for an eternity. So Raiden's there. He's kind of trying to gather like a gang. There are other gangs there who steal food as soon as people come in, and he's a crown prince. He can't just sit by and let these people rot, so he's trying to make things better. On the reverse, we have Serene. She is a princess from another country who came over on a ship a week early. She was supposed to marry Raiden. She gets there and she finds out that he's died, but she is suspicious of his death. She thinks that it might have been his father, Iadon, because Raiden, their names, all of it ending in D-O-N, really confuses me. But Raoden really opposed his father and the way he was running things. His father came to power because he just so happened to be like the richest man in the area when the Elantrians died. He had men to back him up. So he's not a king. He's a merchant. He does not know how to properly run their country, and he's running it into the ground. So Raoden opposed him constantly, had the support of the people, knew more would have been a better king. So Serena's like, I think he might have been murdered. And she's actually gone to Elantris. You can like see it from the top of the walls. And there's a moment where she sees Raoden and she recognizes him as being different. He's too far away, so she can't see that it's him. But she recognizes the carefulness in the group that he's in and the way they don't seem mad like the other people. So I'm really enjoying it. It's really interesting. I'm really loving high fantasy like this recently. I'm just having a hard time with reading it and need to be better at being realistic in that if I'm going to read something like this, it's going to take me more than 4 or 5 days. It's probably going to take me 10 to 12. So hopefully I can catch up this weekend, and I will update you, fingers crossed, when I have finished. Good morning. Happy Friday. I think the last time I updated you guys was last Friday, and I was like, I'm going to finish this book this weekend. It didn't happen. I finished it Thursday night. I just kind of accepted that it was going to take me a long time to get through. I was still reading 30 to 50 pages every night, but that was taking me about an hour and a half. I didn't end up going to Starbucks to read. Actually, I did, and they were closed. And I ended up just going home. I prefer my like normal Starbucks, and I didn't want to go to another one and read there. So I went home and did a little bit of reading every night and just finished last night. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I just read adult books a lot slower, and I think I have to accept that, but I finished it. It was so good. There were so many things that like got introduced at the beginning, so many little things along the way, honestly, that just came out in the end so good. There's a character that we're introduced to, I think it's Aiden, and there's like an assumption that he has maybe like autism. The family just kind of goes along with Serene's assumption of that. It turns out that he went through, or he was an Elantrian. That's what they call it when you get the Sheod and are like covered in the splotches and stuff. And I guess the family just like covered him in makeup and kept him at home. And he went through that for 5 years, which is a really long time to be like that without kind of getting a little crazy. And in the end, they're able to like lift this curse or whatever that it is. It turns out that all of their magic is surrounded on these things called aeons, and they're like symbols that you draw in the air or write on paper or on stone. And they all have a base structure of Erelon, the city that they live around. But right before they all fell, this earthquake hit and a chasm like cracked through the earth. And because the aeons are like based off of the layout of the earth, they all had the old layout, but now there was this crack in the earth and none of the aeons had that line in them, which is why everything failed and why they all got sick and stuff. So our main character Raoden was able to figure that out. Oh, sorry, I can see a ladybug on the tree in front of me and I just got so distracted, but he's able to figure that out. He like heals a bunch of the people. They get rid of the priest. Well, the priest dies. Him and Serene are together in the end. It was really good. I enjoyed it so much. The like magic system is really unique. My issue is that I don't think that these sets of characters continue through the rest of the Cosmere. I was kind of looking at it last night, and Mistborn is a separate series. So this Elantris is listed on Goodreads as Elantris number 1. And then there's Elantris 1.5, but after that, it doesn't continue. So I don't know if the author was ever intending to continue with this series and then just never did, but to me that's a little bit disappointing. So it's like it doesn't I don't know if the other worlds, how they're connected. They're all called the Cosmere, and I know Mistborn is the next set of books in this, but it's not connected to any of the characters that I just developed relationships with, so that's a little frustrating, and I have to do more research on what the proper reading order is, and they're not readily available in these copies, at least. I would like all of my copies to be like this. I think Barnes & Noble has like the dark covers, but I would like these, which makes it a little bit difficult to just kind of go pick these up. I have to order them, and there's just so many other things that I want to order, and there's like 20 books in this series. And when Skylar and I were there the other day, I saw that another book came out that's related to the Cosmere world, so it's a lot. I don't know if I'm going to put it in my normal series tracker, in my like reading journal, if I want it to be separate, but I have finished another book, so that makes me feel good. I think that's my third this month. I think next book I'm just gonna go back to trying to read 5 books. I'm not gonna try to finish what I was trying to read the month before and read 5 books. I'm just gonna kind of roll the books over and add 2 or 3 more if I need to, but that's book 3, and now I need to start The Iron Knight. That's by Julie Kagawa. It's the 4th book in the Iron King series, which I originally started reading in like high school. I think I read the first book then. I read the second and third books recently, or in the last like 2 or 3 years, and I just need to finish that 4th one and be done with the series. So that is my next book, and I'm fingers crossed hoping I get through it quickly. And I don't think I'm going to end the vlog. My brain is super scattered right now, but I will probably end the vlog when I've actually finished that book, but I will update you next when I have started it and made some progress. Good morning, happy Thursday. I've been going back and forth on whether I was going to update before I finished The Iron Knight, because I haven't yet. So it's been, again, almost another week since I updated you guys last time that I have been reading The Iron Knight. I am, let me look, like 200 and something pages in. 241. There's 356. So I only have just over 100 pages left. The first couple of days I only read like 30 pages, 25 pages. Yesterday was the most that I'd read. It was like 100 and something. So I'm getting into it, but I do feel like I am just pushing myself to read at this point, to be done with it. I just want to finish this series. I started it in high school, and I'm just ready to be finished with it and to check off another series on my TBR, or my series tracker. I'm enjoying it. I do feel like it feels disjointed from the rest of the story, because most of what they were fighting towards in the first 3 books did get wrapped up. All of the Iron Fae stuff, everything with Meghan Chase, got all wrapped up, and this is based on Ash wanting to become mortal so that he can go be with Meghan in the Iron Kingdom, because he can't. Being Fae means that the iron is poison to his body, so he's on this quest to like go to the end of the world, run this gauntlet, and be granted a soul to become mortal. And so it, like I said, it feels so separate from the first 3 books that it feels like a different book, part of a different series, and just to me felt a little bit unnecessary. But I'm making my way through it. I'm definitely planning on finishing it tonight, hopefully. I'm working till 6:30 today, and then after that I'm going to go have ramen with my cousin. But I should be home probably before 9 or just at 9, and then I'll have time to read. I didn't even think about not getting back until 9, and I have work tomorrow, but it should be fine. Now I'm like having a moment of worrying about getting back so late, but it should be okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking that like Robin Goodfellow, Puck, and Ash have kind of settled their differences, because we find out that Ariella is still alive and she's been like hiding in the forest. She's a seer now, and she is on this journey with them. I do just, there's something going on. She has some sort of ulterior motive. I don't know what, or she's gonna sacrifice herself in the end for Ash to get his soul. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm enjoying it, and hopefully I will finish it tonight. I'll be able to update you guys tomorrow and close out this vlog. I really need to dedicate a day to editing. Just edit like 3 or 4 videos all in one day, get them uploaded and scheduled to finally catch up, because I think I'm still editing April videos or February videos, and we're now at the end of April, so but I will update you when I have finished the Iron Knight. Hello, happy Friday. I wanted to update you because I did finish the Iron Knight last night. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think I gave it 3 stars on GOODREADS, 4 stars. I just felt like I couldn't rate it that, but I did enjoy it. Like I had mentioned, this just felt really disjointed from the rest of the story, and I almost think that even if you hadn't read the first 3 books, you could read this and know exactly what was going on. They describe who Ariella is, you get background on Ash and Puck, you get background on Ash and Megan, on Grimalkin. So yeah, I feel like this is separate from the rest of the story. There is more, and I don't know if I will continue with that, but at least for this, like the Iron Fae is done. I think the next one is like the Iron Raven or something. There's like a short story in the back of here, the Iron Prophecy, which I didn't include as part of this, but it was good. It was a simple read. I was really hoping to read it a lot more quickly, but I just wasn't into it for the first couple of days. I have been seeing non-stop ACOTAR stuff on my For You page on TikTok, on Instagram, like that's what I want to read right now, and that is what I'm going to read next. I have read the first 3 books. I consider A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin to be like its own series, and then A Court of Silver Flames seems separate, like this actually, because it's Nesta and Cassian. And again, I almost kind of think like you could read that without reading the first 3 books, and you get the information that you need. You get the like background on Nesta. They give you a recap almost of what happened in the first 3 books. I wouldn't recommend reading them without reading the first 3, because you would be spoiled for a ton of stuff. But like you could, and I feel like you would get enough information from context. But that's what I'm going to read next. I just really want to, like, it is all that I have been able to think about in the last couple of days, and I have, so that was only my 2nd book on like this month's, it's like my 3rd or 4th book of this month, but I planned to try and read like 7, which is just ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So I still have 3 more books from the month that I was hoping to read, but I'm just gonna push those off. I'm gonna read the ACOTAR series, and I still have 5 days left of the month. 4, I think. 5. So I'm thinking it'll take me like 2 weeks potentially, and then I can just pick back up with those books and read them in May. But I'm going to end this here, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know how your April has been. This month I celebrated 6 months of marriage, and my 8-year anniversary with Skylar is next Saturday. So we are going to Idlewild, which is like a tiny little town near us. I got an Airbnb, and we are just going to relax and do nothing, walk around. There's like thrift stores there, coffee shops, breakfast places. I am so excited to just have a weekend of relaxation because we haven't done anything since our honeymoon about 6 months ago. So I am really, really looking forward to that. But thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!